Voters in New Hampshire casting their ballots yesterday, choosing former President Donald Trump as the top GOP presidential candidate. Nikki Haley coming in second, still vowing to stay in the running, while Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, as we reported, bowed out of the race over the weekend. This is the first in the nation primary, but it's after the vote in Iowa, which was a caucus. Are you confused yet? Well, we're working to clear things up with help from our WATE 6 on Your Side legal expert, Greg Isaacs. Greg, thank you for being here.
Lori, it's good to be here.
Before we talk about all the things going on with Tennessee and our primaries, let's start with New Hampshire, the state that really does want to be first. In fact, they made that a law back in 1975.
Right. They so much so want to be first that their legislature passed a law mandating that their primary is the first in the nation every year. So once primary season kicks off, that's why New Hampshire's always number one.
All right, back here in Tennessee, we're hardly the first, but our primaries obviously work in a very different way. They are open. This is what we've been talking about lately. You still have to be bona fide. What does that mean?
What does that mean? You heard complaints in New Hampshire about crossover primary voting, where people come over from other parties and try to manipulate a primary. Here in Tennessee, we have been an open primary state historically for years, but now the legislature has changed that in a very dramatic way. Now you have to be a bona fide member of a political party or affiliated. Or if that's still unclear and you're challenged, you have to, at the polling place, declare your allegiance to that political party, or, Lori, it is a serious felony, a Class D felony that could carry 2 to 4 years in the Tennessee Department of Corrections.
Is someone really going to be there at the polls, policing the polls, if you will, enforcing this?
Well, the statute says they can. Election officials are allowed to make an inquiry. It's going to be remarkable how they do it. But in comes Victor Ashe and the League of Women Voters, and they have challenged this law in federal court, alleging that it's overbroad and vague. I mean,
what
in the world does bona fide mean? Yeah. It doesn't put a citizen of average intelligence on notice of the prohibited conduct. And then it denies you the right to, under the First Amendment, political speech, to exercise your right to vote. And Lori, it's unfortunate, in 2016, we were the 49th state in voter turnout in the nation. In 2022, we were the 46th. The last thing we need is laws that discourage voting.
Scare them away, scare voters away.
So it's going to be interesting as we hear complaints of crossover voting during this primary season. When it gets to Tennessee, are we going to lead the nation in news coverage which shows people getting handcuffed and arrested for crossing over in a primary? Stay tuned.
Can you imagine? All right, Greg, thank you.
Thank you.
If you have a legal question, send it to AskIsaacs@WATE.com. And remember, we talk with Greg every Wednesday at 5:30 right here on WATE 6 on Your Side.